guys, it's Nicole, also known as Nikki Vegan, and welcome to part 4 of my week-long back to school lunch series. Something that I remember from being in school, especially in college and at work when I've worked at places where we would go out for lunch, is how stressful it can be when lunch takes a long time to order. Because a lot of times it's like you only have maybe 45 minutes or an hour for lunch. Sometimes it's even less than that. And you're standing in line, you're ordering, you're waiting for the food to be ready, and then you end up with like 10 or 15 minutes to quickly scarf down your meal before getting to your next class or your next meeting. And that can be very, very stressful. I can't tell you how much calmer I feel when I know that I have my lunch packed. I can just go find a comfortable space. I can kind of chill for a second. I usually put on a podcast when I'm at work and I bring my lunch. Like sometimes I use that time to eat, and then if I have time left over, I'll edit my photos or something for my Instagram. So it's really, really efficient to pack your lunch. It's not just healthier, it's not just budget friendly as we keep saying and you always hear, it's also faster, and faster sometimes means that you can chill out a little bit. And I think that that is a really good reason to pack your lunch. Just saying. That being said, I do have a really delicious lunch recipe for you today, so let's get started. So for this lunch, I'm going to be making kind of an upgraded PB&J. Instead of bread, I'm using toast or waffles. You could also do frozen pancakes and use those to make your sandwich because I don't know about you, but I just think that sounds fun. Then you can go ahead and add your favorite almond butter, peanut butter, chocolate hazelnut butter, whatever it is. And then instead of jelly, I'm going to do some fresh fruit. Not only because it's a little healthy, but also because this time of year berries are still really nice and juicy. And I feel like they add the perfect amount of sweetness and juiciness to this sandwich that a PB&J should have while still being, a little bit extra and a little bit more fancy. There's just something fun about opening your lunchbox and seeing a waffle PB&J. You know what I mean? Now, I'm also going to show you one of my new favorite homemade granola recipes, which is really great for having as a snack. And you can also bring this with you to kind of have like as your afternoon snack, or you could have this as a breakfast option. You're just going to need some whole grain oats, some sea salt, a little bit of cinnamon, and some sesame seeds. I'm using black sesame seeds because that's what I had on hand. You can use any kind of sesame seed you like. And I'm just going to toss the dry ingredients together. Then for the wet ingredients, we're going to use some tahini. You want to make sure you have room temperature tahini, that is like the runny kind. And then we're going to sweeten this just a little bit with some maple syrup. And you're also going to need some melted coconut oil. Now this is not a super sweet granola, and I actually like that because there is some sweetness. As you can see, we're adding some vanilla, and the maple and the vanilla with the tahini is so delicious. But I like that it's not overly sweet because that way you can add, your own fruit to it that will sweeten it up, or you could do a little drizzle of maple syrup on top if you like. But that way you can kind of control the sweetness to what kind of mood you're in that day. Then all that you have to do is just mix your wet ingredients into your dry ingredients and mix this really well. And I don't know about you, but granola making is something that I never thought to do. I always just bought it, but there are so many ingredients in store-bought granola. They're always really high fat, really high sugar, and when you make it at home, you'll realize that it's so unnecessary to have that many ingredients because you can really make a delicious homemade granola, control the sweetness, control the saltiness, all of that stuff, literally customize it however you like, and it's crazy easy and it's cheaper. So I'm just gonna bake this, and I have the full recipe written out in the description box below, so make sure you check that out. But once it's nice and golden brown, you let it cool completely, and then I love to add some these are like the extra things you really need. Chopped figs, dark chocolate chunks, and some chunky sea salt. That really brings out the kind of maple flavor and gives it almost like a buttery richness, even though there's no butter in this, with the dark chocolate. And then the figs work so well with the kind of sesame flavors from the tahini and the sesame seeds. This is definitely my favorite granola, and so I wanted to utilize this as a snack in my lunchbox. So what I did is I just took some plain unsweetened almond milk based yogurt. I went ahead and I added my granola. If I was packing this really early in the morning or the night before, I would pack the granola on the side so it doesn't get soggy. And then some fresh fruit. Side note, I wanted to point out that yes, I'm using fresh berries in this recipe as a snack and as a sandwich. I know that berries are really expensive, and I don't want you to think that you have to have fresh berries in order to have a healthy lunchbox. I know we see lots of fresh berries on Instagram, but things like apples, pears, bananas, also very healthy, also very delicious, and a lot more cost effective. So use what you got. Plants are delicious in lots of different varieties, so pack up your favorite fruit to go alongside of this lunchbox and enjoy. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And like I said yesterday, please share this series with your friends and family. I'm hoping that it's giving you guys lots of good lunch making inspiration, and hopefully it will give your friends and family the same. I would love if you would pass this video link along, maybe share it in a text or on Instagram or on Facebook, or just tell people. youtube.com/NikkiVegan. It's pretty easy. And hopefully it'll be able to help a lot more people come up with some easy, affordable, all vegan lunch ideas. As always, subscribe if you are not already subscribed, and I will see you guys back here for the 5th and final installment of my back to school lunch series tomorrow. Bye.